about 12 years ago, this young and vibrant young woman walked into my office, and she just had this can-do attitude. And almost as an aside, she told me that she had a congenital heart defect.
I was born in 1969 with congenital heart disease, which means I had a really, as I put in strict medical terms, funkily made heart in utero. It just didn't develop properly.
Emily's congenital heart defect is one that does not allow oxygenated blood to move efficiently through her body.
What it means is that the heart cannot do what it's supposed to normally do, to provide enough blood flow to all the organs in the body.
In late April, early May of last year, started to feel very fatigued and saw the cardiologist that I see annually. I had just seen in January, and things had changed.
It was a very difficult discussion to have because here was somebody who really hadn't been living with chronic disease. She had an abnormal heart but had led an entirely normal life, a life that most people dream of living.
And I lived my whole life prior to a year ago with that heart as is and never had surgery. So 38 and a half years, and always did very well.
Extremely active, both in her job as an attorney as well as on the ski slopes, raising 2 children, and didn't see herself having any limitations, so really hadn't been of the mindset, well, you know, the time is coming soon where I'll need a heart transplant. So this was sort of a bit of a shock.
Having not known a lot about organ transplant and needing a new heart, and life expectancy, we'll just sort of deal with it. I know that the care at the U is exceptional, and she's been up there quite a bit for different surgeries in the 12 years that we've been in Utah living here. So I knew that she'd be in good care.
I think Emily knew all along what the outcome would likely be with this particular problem, this particular congenital defect.
I'm not sure if I was more nervous or if she was more nervous, in that I knew what the options were.
But she managed and adapted to her situation extremely well over the years. And it wasn't until the last year that things started to go badly for her in terms of her heart failure.
When Angela Yetman, her cardiologist, had sort of broached the subject with her that she'd need a new heart, and this was just like foreign language to her at the time. And it was a very similar circumstance of realizing, hey, wait a second, I'm going to need a new heart.
I think it's a very scary time for all of the patients because they realize that they're sick, they're getting sicker, and that their options are becoming more limited.
It was all quite shocking and sudden because my symptom was fatigue.
Looking at the statistics, it was terrible. Her likelihood of getting a heart in a timely manner, that the statistic was so low, she could have looked at that and said, well, I'm going to die, and given up hope. And she didn't do that. She remained strong emotionally and spiritually, and did fantastic.
The timing could not have been better. I was subsequently evaluated over that weekend, released from the hospital the day after Memorial Day, listed, that was like May 27th or so, listed June 6th on the national transplant list.
When we determine a patient is a candidate for transplantation, what they face is the uncertainty of when this is going to happen. This is going to happen in time before they get really much worse or even pass away.
She was listed for 10 days, and she gets the call.
June 16th, and I just got a call from Leanne Stamos at the hospital that they have a heart for me. So I'm going to the hospital with Chaz, and Pete's gonna meet us there, and Allie's here, and the boys are sleeping, and I'm freaking out. I think what I thought mostly, I was mostly worried about, am I gonna see my boys again? And I felt, while I felt so grateful to be getting this call, I thought I didn't have enough time to prepare. I love you, Mason. I love you, Liam. I love everybody in my family and my friends, and I'll look back at this and laugh, hopefully.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think I was a little bit in shock, But the feeling I remember the most was, you know, I know this is gonna be okay, but I hope I get home and see my boys again. Most of all, Mason and Liam, I'll see you soon. Don't freak out. I'm gonna be okay, and I love you guys.
So I thought about the boys a lot, and of course Emily, whether or not, you know, she was going to be around to share in the joys of watching the kids grow up.